Здравствуйте, Namaskar, from the Russian Center for Science and Culture in Kolkata, which is known to you as Gorky Shadun. Every year, we mark the anniversary of India's independence in a very big way. Unfortunately, this year, we'll not be able to celebrate the 73rd anniversary of the Day of Indian Independence with pomp and glory, with exhibition, film shows, talks, and so many things. But we have the better alternative to reach you and to celebrate jointly with you the day of India's independence. The first word of India's independence, which is popularly known as the Mutiny of the Sepoys or the Sepoy Mutiny, which took place in the year 1857 in the month of May, which actually shook the British Empire in India. And immediately after that, in the month of June of that same year, 1857, the Russian envoy to England reported about the incident to the government of Russia. He personally wrote a letter to Prince, and it was followed by the military attaché of the Russian embassy in England. They were very important materials because they told about the details about the revolt of the India's sepoys in Meerut and Lucknow and in Barrackpur of West Bengal and many other places. This was an outcome against the rule and the control of the British colonial power in India. People were not satisfied with it, and particularly the army revolted, and gradually the people also started joining them. We have all the informations of those days, but some are not known to us. We nearly not knew very well about who were the people and who were involved in it, and what about the results and how many people were butchered by the British colonial rulers. But this news, when it reached to Russia, it immediately created a new sensation among the members of the Russian government and also among the Russian people. We found that there were three different opinions. One was in support of the colonial power, one was very moderate, they wanted to judge, watch, and see, and the third one was immediately in support of the India and her people for the liberation from the yoke of colonial rule. These three rules, these three notes, we are known to the people nowadays because they are all available in the archives of different sections of Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. However, the Indian people, when they started to revolt against the British rulers, it immediately spread like a hurricane, and the princely states first revolted against the colonial rulers. Now we know about it that it was one from the Kashmir, the ruling king of that state, revolted against the Britishers and went straight to Russia to meet the Russian people, Russian authority. And as we know very well that these people, they were not known to the Russian government, Russian people, but this prince, Ranveer Singh, who sent even his own people and himself wanted to go to Russia to make contact with the Russian authority and to seek assistance from them. After that, immediately a prince from Surat went there and told them about the situation in India, and he said that he represents the princely states of Jaipur, Bikaner, Jodhpur, Surat, and also of Hyderabad. And they all are eager to fight back the British colonial rulers and to get rid of their rules. However, it was not possible to receive all of them with the big support by the by the Russian authorities to support the Indian independence. It continued for several months, several years, but gradually we know that there were other people also who were interested in it. It all happened till the end of 1896-97. After that, in 1905, when Bal Gangadhar Tilak was the leader of the Indian National Liberation Movement, approached the Russian consul, Mr. Klein, in Mumbai, or into those days of Bombay, to give support to the Indian people. And even he approached that he wants to send some Indian volunteers to get armed training in Russia. It was not possible at that time. After that, in 1906, the Congress leader, Dadabhai Nauroji, at the Calcutta Congress, also requested the Russian authority to give support to the Indian people, and he mentioned about the possibility of the Russian support to the Indian freedom movement. However, that was also not possible. But anyway, the contacts between the Indian revolutionaries, Indian freedom fighters, and the Russian people and the Russian intelligentsia started growing more and more. The persons like Nikolai Chernyshevsky and others, they were also in support of the Indian people till the days of the First War of India's independence, that is of the Sepoy Mutiny. And with his direction, there was the correspondent who wrote an article in details about the Indian mutiny. Simultaneously, as the Indian Indian people who wanted to revolt against the colonial rulers, they were one after another seeking support from the Russian government, Russian people. They even left India and wanted to reach Russia to get support of them. We know today that the first provisional government of Indian people was formed by Mahendra Pratap and Muhammad Barkatullah in Kabul. They also reached Russia and they wanted to get support from them. They even met the Russian leaders of those periods. This continued for quite a long time, and they were supported by the Russian people, Russian authority, and they thought that India will be supported by them. However, the Britishers were not sitting idle. They were trying to track that route of the Indian revolutionaries, where they are going and with whose support they want to start revolt in India or the War of Independence once again. This continued, but it was successful much later when the people like Birendranath Chattopadhyay, who was the elder brother of Sarojini Naidu, the famous Indian leaders, or Bhikaji Rustam Kama, who raised the Indian national flag, and the other people like Abani Mukherjee and M.N. Roy, and then who else were there? And there were many other people, who were taking support from them, like this Shamaji Krishna Burma, Bhupendranath Dotto, and even Aurobindo Ghosh, who tried to get support from the Russian people and illustrate to the people of India that if the Russian people, they can be very much active against colonialism, against monarchy, against serfdom, against any kind of exploitation, then why not the people of India can get support from them or can get inspiration from them. Hundreds of Indian revolutionaries who were imprisoned by the British rulers, they were eager to follow the path of the Russian revolutionaries and to follow the path of liberation with the inspiration of the Russian people. They even got many different write-ups by the Russian people, Russian nationalist people, and the people who were seeking for freedom, and to read them clearly. And even in the prisons, they were reading, even when in their cells, they were smuggled to them and they were reading this literature, and that inspired them. Also, the Indian students, Indian youth, they were inspired, and the Indian workers, they felt very much inspired with the understanding that if there is a change in somewhere else, and if the Britishers are afraid of Russia and their people, then definitely that is one of the sources that will give them support, and with their support, India will achieve independence, and Russia will support Indian people to support them. That happened actually when India achieved independence in 1947. As I told earlier, that India got recognition from Russia in the month of April, few months before the Indian actual date of Indian independence as the independent and free India. And since then, we are having very close contacts in all fields of India's self-supporting economic, social achievements at different fields. It might be in the space exploration, it might be in the underground construction, it might be in the maintaining of the mines and the dams, it might be the creating of the grounds for the engineers and doctors, for the education, for all other fields. The close relationship between our country and the people are very popular nowadays, and we know that we have a friend in the world, that is Russia, because whenever India was in crisis, Russia came in support of the Indian people. As we know, the crisis of Goa, the liberation of Goa, it was the support from the Russian government and the Russian people. And the same way, when during the war of Bangladesh, when there was a popular slogan that Rush Bharat Chukti, Bangladesh Mukti, that the treaty between Russia and India brings the liberation of Bangladesh, it was very true, because at that time the Seventh Fleet from the United States, they approached Indian Ocean, but this treaty saved India from any adventure by the colonial or the imperial powers. But till today, we are having good relationship, and we believe that the relationship between our countries will strengthen much more and more, and India will be able to keep its freedom as it is, and Russia will always stand by us, as Indian people are with Russia forever. And our mutually beneficial friendship, which has reached the stage of cooperation, mutual cooperation, beneficial cooperation, and today we have reached the stage of strategic partnership. And this year will be marking also 20th anniversary of this strategic partnership. So we believe that Russia and Indian friendship will be strengthened day by day, and because it's a time-tested event and we have to achieve it, we have to keep the flag flying for friendship our two countries.